Welcome back to the channel, guys. So today I'm bringing you some of the last battles from Season 3 as we prepare for Season 4. So today I'm bringing back the OG Stunfisk. So I'm pairing it up with Scrafty and Shiftry, and these Pokemon are all going to be pretty heavy hitting, but a little bit squishy and able to pressure shields hard. So since the Galarian form Stunfisk has come out, the previous form hasn't seen that much play as it did previously in Season 2, but it's in this current meta, it's still walling out a lot of different Pokemon like Bastiodon, like Skarmory in the lead, and still does very well against things like Azu. I have paired it up with a fighter in the back as well as Shiftry to be able to combat a lot of losing leads that I'm going to have with Stunfisk, but still each and every single one of these Pokemon have very quick generating charge move that's going to be able to pressure shields pretty hard. So with that, we're going to be able to win a lot of lead losses as well, and able to flip a lot of matchups, even though these Pokemon are very squishy. So up on the screen here, I'm just showing you guys a little bit of the shiny haul that I got for this week. Got the Nidoran, which is cool, but funny thing is, I got a Weedle. So coming in the first battle here, we are setting up with our Stunfisk as the lead, and we're seeing the Bastiodon, which is what we want to see. So Stunfisk absolutely walls this out. So they're bringing in the Meganium. I'm swapping out immediately into Scrafty, thinking that they most likely have something like an Azu in the back. So I want to be able to preserve my Shiftry, just in case that happens. So I am going to block the first charge move so they don't want to farm, and immediately go for the foul play. So I'm not going to bait at all here. I'm just trying to get rid of this thing. So Scrafty is able to take a Frenzy Plant, but that's all about as much as they charge to. So it does survive it, and we are able to farm it down, which is huge. So instead, they surprise me with the Shadow Victory Bell. So here I'm just going to throw the charge move and try to get a shield. This thing's going to shred through my Stunfisk, so I have to bring in the Shiftry. And this is a little bit rough just because it's still doing pretty heavy damage to the Shiftry. Again, I'm going to go ahead and throw the foul play. I'm not going to bait it all and see if I can knock it out and get rid of it. I get the second shield, and I have to go ahead and shield here just because even though it's resisted, it's probably going to get me very close to a knockout. I am right here going to make the decision to charge up to a charge move and then retreat with energy and then go into Stunfisk. So again, it's walling out this Bastiodon, so any kind of charge move that I'm getting hit with it, I'm just going to take no problem, which is great, since of course being in a position where you can farm down a tank and save in the energy for later in the matchup is really huge. I am charging up a little bit of energy here and then going to throw the Mud Bomb. But I know that if the Victory Bell can't farm me down, then in the back I already have energy loaded up for it. And that thing really is pretty squishy, so I will be able to take it out fairly easy. So I get that there. Am able to charge up to a second Mud Bomb. And this is the surprising thing about how squishy Shadow Victory Bell is. Just a simple Mud Bomb honestly has already taken half its health. I swap out, go for the Leaf Blade, and GG. So that was a good game. Wasn't really expecting the Shadow Victory Bell, so really good job for my opponent for that surprise. And that's what we love about Great League. You honestly never know what's going to come. So coming in here, round 2, we're bringing in this exact same team for this entire matches for our final game. And we see the Swampert, so this is really, really bad. So we have to immediately get out of there. I bring in my fighter, and again, I'm not really going to bait here. I'm going to go straight for the foul play. And I do notice that my opponent doesn't fire off a charge move. So he's pretty loaded up on energy, and then he swaps out. So in comes the Skarmory. So again, this isn't really the worst situation just because it's taking neutral damage from this thing, and foul play actually does a lot of damage. So I'm actually already taking it half health already. And here he ends up throwing the charge move after he's gotten some extra energy. I do decide to use a shield, to be able to knock it out and try to line up that Swampert with my Shiftry. I go for the power-up punch here, and my opponent has counted and knows. And unfortunately, right here, I'm unable to finish it off where it fires a charge move. So I don't commit a second shield. I'm coming in here with Stunfisk, and knowing that my opponent's about to take out Swampert and fire off a charge move, I make an immediate switch to Shiftry, and I'm able to catch that. So that is huge and probably did flip the matchup. So he swaps out into Registew, so not bad, but at this point I'm going straight for foul plays. Right now I'm in a tough position because I'm out of shields, and he's still, well, actually I have one shield left, and so it's an even shield matchup, but this is bad alignment. I am trying to get rid of these shields or do some damage, so I do throw the foul play again. And I think I get the shield here, yeah. So I am charging up, and at this point I am seeing the switch timers coming up, so I'm just throwing the Leaf Blade even though it's not doing that much damage, just because I don't want my opponent to get to the Flash Cannon. So I am able to throw the charge move, burn some time, and then switch to the Stunfisk, which is really huge. So my opponent here is throwing his energy just because our switch timers are off, and I am able to throw just back-to-back mud bombs. And again, this thing also just walls out a Registew. Even though Focus Blast is coming in, you know, with the nerf, it's doing less damage as well. I decided not to try to farm up anymore and just throw the charge moves so I can get rid of it, just because now the Swampert's coming in, and so my opponent now is in a tough situation where he needs to get rid of both Stunfisk and Shiftry, and so he got sort of farmed down here. So he decides to undercharge, which was probably his win condition, but unfortunately I am able to get to that charge move and knock out the Swampert with a Stunfisk. So rare sight to see there, and good game by my opponent. That was definitely one of the tougher ones. If we hadn't caught that charge move with the Shiftry, that match would have been completely different. So coming up again here, Stunfisk on the lead against Skarmory. So this is again something else we want to see. It absolutely walls out the Skarmory no matter what. So they throw in the Vigoroth, so I switch into my own fighter. So we're both doing super effective damage to each other, but I am able to throw the power-up punch, which does super effective and will give me that boost. So I'm thinking that with the boost, I'll be able to outpace the Vigoroth with these counters. And we're going back to back here. I am able to survive one body slam, which is about all he's able to throw. And here I do make a mistake, being a little bit too greedy, and instead of firing off the power-up punch, I tried to farm down and have a double knockout. So here, I need to make a guess as to which he's gonna take out. And then he brings in the Shadow Gardevoir, and at this point I'm thinking I lost already. But the biggest lesson here is don't ever give up. Even if it's a bad matchup, just keep on going at it. He's definitely gonna chunk me down here, but I'm throwing charge moves after charge moves, trying to get this thing to burn its shields. At this point, I do switch the Shiftry, just because if I can get to a Leaf Blade, I can knock it out, even though it's doing massive damage. And I do. So we're able to knock out this Gardevoir here, which is huge. But in comes the Skarmory, and it's going to be able to farm us down, which is pretty bad just because our Stunfisk is not at very much health left. So I need to throw at least 2 discharges to win here. But if he gets a Brave Bird in, most likely I'll lose. So I get the first discharge here, and it should do about half health, which it does, and then it's a race. First one of the charge move basically wins, and Stunfisk pulls through. That's why I'm telling you guys, that combo makes it so quick to get to those charge moves and really pressure those shields, which is what I did endgame here, where I pressured 2 shields off that Gardevoir and then was able to hit 2 more discharges and knock out the Skarmory. So great game by my opponent there again with that. These shadows in the back, they're really just catching me off guard. So coming in here against a Toxicroak. So this is a bad situation for my backline, just because both of them will lose to this Toxicroak. So I do need to commit both shields if I need to and get rid of it. So Mud Bomb's gonna do super effective to it, but he also has Mud Bomb, as well as his counters are chunking me down. So first Mud Bomb comes through, I'm definitely gonna shield it and try my best to just keep spamming him. So the fortunate thing about Stunfisk is that I do outpace him on these Mud Bombs. So my opponent makes an excellent switch and catches that Mud Bomb there. And I believe I switch into Shift Tree right here. Of course, Cresselias, most of them carry Moonblast, so I had a feeling that my Shift Tree wouldn't really last very long, but I'm able to here to either pressure shields or just do massive damage. So I'm thinking, well, you know, it did its job, and I'm about to take a Moonblast to the face. And then he throws the Future Sight, which does absolutely nothing. So I do farm him down. I could have potentially here completely farmed him down, but I didn't want to take another charge move. So I should go ahead and throw the Leaf Blade. He of course is going to bring back in his fighter, and I at least am able to fire off another Leaf Blade. And if he doesn't shield this, then it's going to knock out that Toxicroak. So I am trying here to get to another Leaf Blade, but I don't make it. So at this point I know that he has a Mud Bomb ready, and I don't want to take that on my Stunfisk. So I'm bringing in not Shift Tree, Scrafty. I'm sorry. And I'm able to soak up that damage. So in finally comes a Galarian Stunfisk, and my opponent knows that it's GG. So good game there. That Toxicroak was definitely a huge threat to the team, but fortunately we were able to match it up with our counter on the lead. So up next here, sometimes the queue times are a little bit slower in these higher ranks, but our Stunfisk is matched up with another one, so this was a fun match. The first thing I noticed that his CP is maxed out at 1500, so I'm thinking that I might lose CMP just because my Stunfisk isn't really that great of IVs, and which I do. So I obviously going to soak that. It takes 3 Mud Bombs to be able to beat out a mirror match. So we throw the first one. My play here is to try to catch it with the Shift Tree, but the timing was off and I'm not able to do that. So I do take another Mud Bomb, which is fine, because we're able to throw one right back and see if we're able to get that shield, which would be huge just because, oh, and we're able to actually hit them with it. So right here, we are able to swap out to the Shift Tree and soak up that Mud Bomb, which is really big just because now that Stunfisk has 0 energy and it's pretty low health, so I don't have to worry about it. So he brings in the Umbreon to counter my Shift Tree, which is a very, very odd pick for that. So I'm thinking maybe he has something like an Azumarill in the back. That's why he didn't really want to see the Shift Tree. But, you know, we're in a good position here. He does go for the charge move, and I'm going to block it, making that it's a last resort. And good on my opponent right here for baiting it with the foul play. We're just going to go back-to-back Leaf Blades and try to get rid of this Umbreon. We're not really super worried about it just because we do have Scrafty in the back as well. So here, it's most likely a last resort, but I can't commit to my last shield just for that. And so we are going to farm up for a Leaf Blade and swap out, thinking that there's still a good chance that it is an Azumarill. And out comes the Hypno. So we are in a good position at this point just to throw foul plays back to back. Again, we're not really going to bait here just because a lot of people expect a potential bait and they may or may not shield. Here I may have been able to bait just because he was pretty low on health and had a charge move up. If this is a focus blast, of course it's just going to straight knock me out, but we can very easily well bring Shift Tree back in and farm down. But it's just a Thunder Punch. We are just going to go ahead and try to farm it down. I don't think I shield here. No, I don't. Just take another Thunder Punch. We can survive that. And here I'm going to throw the Power Up Punch to just get rid of this Hypno. I could have gone for the foul play, but I did want to be able to do some extra damage to the back line. And in comes his Stunfisk again. We're able to go for another Power Up Punch and probably take this Stunfisk out before it's able to throw a charge move. and then the Umbreon comes back in, and Scrafty just straight sweeps endgame just by itself. So that's the danger of a Scrafty, definitely on an energy lead, as well as boosted. And there you go, 5-0. And this was actually the first time I played this team and immediately had that kind of results. So I'm definitely excited to bring it in to the next season. So thank you guys for watching again, and I'll see you out there. Comment below how you felt about this team and what could have been improved, or what you guys are bringing into Season 4. Well, I'll see you out there, trainers. Bye.